On this Monday. Happy Labor Day, everyone. To all my other bears, I call the Grizzlies. Welcome back to MessyMocha. Yes, I did get a little bit of rest last night, and I'm glad that you allowed me to take that little bit of break. All right, what is this I hear? Plus the latest election news. But let me just tell you, Labor Day is a federal holiday, In the United States, it's celebrated on the first Monday in September. It honors the American labor movement and the contributions that workers have made to strengthen prosperity and the well being of the country. Now, where's my American flag? Well, you see it up there, but I want to put up the big one here because we also are counting down election day. Let me just, okay. Some of you might like the cat. I don't know. Here we go. "63 days until the election." That's what it is. And on this Labor Day weekend, it typically kicks off the last big, you know, go for the election campaign, uh, visits to the states by all the nominees, those that are running around the country for different elections, but specifically the presidential election. Shout out to my moderators, Vicky Black and Baby Juju. Let me see who is joining me. Good morning. Good morning. You love the song, I know. I love it too. Bill Withers, Lovely Day. I couldn't decide exactly which one I wanted to play, but I picked that one. I'm glad you like it. All right. So I was saying the holiday was established in the late 19th century during a time when labor unions were becoming more prominent, advocating for better working conditions, fair wages, and reasonable hours. Labor Day also symbolizes the end of summer for many Americans, often marked by parades, barbecues, and other festivities. The holiday serves as a reminder of the importance of workers' rights and the ongoing efforts to ensure fair treatment and safety in the workplace. Here in Michigan, huge labor state, the unions and both candidates are going to be making their rounds here this week. All right, what else is in the news? Why don't we just cover that? And then I'll get into what is this I hear. Go ahead, hit the like, share, comment, subscribe. We are live on Instagram, X, Twitch, Facebook, and right here on YouTube. All right, so CNN is covering the following breaking stories. Over the weekend, Israel court orders an end to nationwide strike demanding hostage deal. This is thousands of furious protesters have taken to the streets saying that Netanyahu needs to do more to secure a ceasefire deal. This after Hamas killed 6 hostages. Israel's largest labor union threatens to shut down the economy as anger mounts against Netanyahu. So it's sad that there was an American Israeli hostage as part that was killed. Um, and it's set off hundreds of thousands of protesters have taken to the streets. This after Israel's military recovered the bodies of 6 hostages killed in Gaza this weekend. Protesters say Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has not done enough to protect the hostages, adding to the mounting pressure on the leader to secure a ceasefire deal with Hamas. 3 of the hostages killed in Gaza, including Israeli American Hirsch Goldberg, Poland, had been expected to be released in a ceasefire deal, according to U.S. and Israeli officials. That deal has been thrown into turmoil, with the U.S. National Security Advisor saying that the next few days will be critical in the push to free those still held by Hamas. U.S. President Joe Biden will meet with the U.S. team negotiating a deal today. So, a call on Americans, a call on this country, a call on Israel, a call on Palestinians, a call on all of those to get a deal. That this would be the only way that real progress has been seen as far as bringing hostages home. You may remember there was a deal earlier that allowed the freedom and release of at least 100. But since then, there has not been another, release like that. So prayers go out to all those families and on both sides, who are looking for a deal to be done to free the hostages. All right, what else that I'm looking at? Hope everyone is doing well this morning. What are your plans? I have some plans for later on this afternoon. I do. Let's see. You know what I'm going to do? Make it easy. Let's take a listen to the 5 things that we should know, and I'll be right back.
With all the money you can save with Club Citgo, you're good to go. But good to go where? To the opera? To a boxing match? Ooh, good to go salsa dancing. Download Citgo's money-saving Club Citgo app and you're good to go.
Hello from CNN, I'm Jo Beck, with the 5 things you need to know for Monday, September 2nd. A nationwide strike is underway across Israel, aiming to put pressure on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to agree to a ceasefire and hostage release deal. The strike was called by the country's largest labor union, following public fury this weekend after 6 hostages were found dead in a Hamas tunnel under Gaza. Efrat Machikawa is the niece of one of the people still being held. She tells CNN many family members blame the Israeli government for the recent deaths.
There was a deal since May, and we know for sure that those people could have been home, including my uncle. And we are crying out for international assistance and for people within our government, and especially our prime minister, who is really making a very dark legacy of what he does.
Netanyahu made a public address yesterday ahead of the strike, blaming Hamas for the lack of a deal.
Whoever murders hostages does not want a deal. The government of Israel is committed, and I am personally committed, to continue striving towards a deal.
Israel's finance minister has asked the country's attorney general to request urgent injunctions against the strike. The 2024 presidential race is hitting a critical stretch. with the first ballots hitting mailboxes this week in important Sunbelt states. Both campaigns are focusing on key battlegrounds and taking swipes at each other. Over the weekend, Vice President Kamala Harris attacked former President Donald Trump over his recent controversial visit to Arlington National Cemetery on the anniversary of the Kabul airport bombing that killed 13 US service members. The army rebuked Trump's staff for filming campaign footage in a certain section of the site, which it says is against federal law. Harris lashed out at Trump on social media, saying he's, quote, unable to comprehend anything other than service to himself. But Trump says he had the support of the families of the service members and posted videos to Truth Social with parents praising him and criticizing Harris along with the Biden administration.
Kamala, your statement is nothing more than a political spin to help you look better in your presidential campaign against Donald Trump. You have never walked a single day in our shoes. Our kids were murdered because of your administration, and you are partly to blame for that as well.
A labor strike disrupted some people's Labor Day weekend. More than 10,000 workers at 24 hotels across the US picketed yesterday, leaving some facilities with just a skeleton staff in the middle of the last long weekend of the summer. This hotel worker in New York City says staff are striking because the current level of pay and working conditions are affecting their health.
Sleep 2 hours here, 2 hours there, 2 hours when you get home, and 2 hours before you start, another job. So my health kind of gone down.
The union is threatening to expand the strike to as many as 65 hotels in 12 different cities. Hotel chains Hilton and Hyatt told CNN on Friday they're committed to reaching deals with the union. Ukraine launched one of its biggest ever drone attacks on Russia over the weekend. Videos geolocated by CNN show strikes hitting a refinery and power station deep inside Russia, and plumes of smoke rising from targets in Moscow, as well as a neighboring region. The Russian Defense Ministry acknowledged the size of the Ukrainian attack, but downplayed its effectiveness, saying 158 drones were destroyed and intercepted. In Ukraine, at least 4 people were injured when Russia launched strikes across the country this morning as children returned to school. Coming up, a record night and morning at the US Open.
They say opposites attract. That's why the Sleep Number Smart Bed is the best bed for couples. You can each choose what's right for you whenever you like. You like a bed that feels firm but they want soft? Sleep Number does that. You want to sleep cooler while they like to feel warm? Sleep Number does that too. You have to feel it to believe it. Find the bed that's for both of you, only at a Sleep Number store. Sleep better together. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in store. And now, Sleep Number Smart Beds starting at $999. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
The record's been broken for the latest finish in a women's match at the US Open. The last ball was struck at 2:15 a.m. this morning in the game between China's Zheng Qingwen and Croatia's Donna Vekic, beating the previous record by 2 minutes. Meanwhile, Coco Gauff will not defend her US Open title as fellow American Emma Navarro advanced past her in the 4th round. That's all for now. We're on a special Labor Day schedule today, so I'll be back with our next episode at noon Eastern.
Sugar and spice, give you everything that's nice. Come on, sugar and spice. What you want from me, baby? What you want now? Sugar and spice, give you everything that's nice. Turn around and tell me what I'm missing now. 아주 멋쟁이 넌 하루 종일 세상 혼자 사는 듯이 그래. 도도한 태도가 날 더 미치게 만들어. Meet me up near the riverside. We can push everything aside. Make stars align. Let's just collide. Yeah. Sugar and spice, give you everything that's nice. Come on, sugar and spice. What you want from me, baby? What you want now? Sugar and spice, give you everything that's nice. Turn around and tell me what I'm missing now. Let me take you on a magic ride. I'm just waiting for you. I'm in love with your style. No, you're good, tongue, tomato. 몰랐었어, 너를 만나 처음엔. I'll make you mine. Sugar and spice, give you everything that's nice. Come on, sugar and spice. What you want from me, baby? What you want now? Sugar and spice, give you everything that's nice. Turn around and tell me what I'm missing now. Sugar and spice, give you everything that's nice. Come on, sugar and spice. What you want from me, baby? What you want now? Sugar and spice, give you everything that's nice. Turn around and tell me what I'm missing now.
Okay, so now let's get into what is this I hear. Just a couple of things in no order. All right, so some of you know that I've in the last couple videos or so, I've talked about Jennifer Huff's story. Yeah, I've simply talked about it because it is in the YouTube news, and conscious TV brought to the fore the story and this interrogation. So a number of content creators are reporting on it. Yeah. And some of those, such as Conscious TV and others, are getting a lot of, I'll just say, some harassment and about that, story. Nicki Minaj, Kenneth Petty, Jennifer Huff, Nosy Ho Live, Hotshot Radio. Those were the names that people remember. Okay. So for me, and the angle that I'm looking at is, just simply to review some of the material and just chime in. I am not looking to engage at all with any any unnecessary more than I've received, and what I've received in over 2 years. I'm not looking for this to be my quote unquote lead story, or that I'm going to still be doing my news, and especially right now with the upcoming election on a lot of people's mind. It's still, politics and music and some celebrity news or YouTube black tea news when I'm interested in it. Okay. But yeah, I'm not looking for anything more than that. I'm not looking to engage with any quote unquote barbs or whatever. Okay. So I'll just kind of say that. But on the other hand, because it is a public story and people still have interest in it, why shouldn't I talk about it if I choose to? It's, yeah. Okay. And then the second thing is, what is this I hear? Mhm. So I watched very little, but just enough to see some of the comments and hear. Um, Thank you, baby Juju. Teddy, you've been doing a great job. Thank you. Um, Kimmy, Kimmy Love podcast. I listened to a little bit of her broadcast. I think it was from yesterday. Yeah. And I'll just say this. Uh, There was a question about reaching out to me via email and I think a telephone call. I haven't received any telephone call that I'm familiar with, but um, email, I haven't responded to the email, and she said that. And so since she put it out there, it's not that I wouldn't want to share information that I feel could be helpful. Yeah, I'll put it that way. Yeah. Um, it's that I can publicly see um, the harassment that you've been receiving. I'm very familiar with it myself. And I think I mentioned this. I don't want to telegraph to the audience, what I might be doing um, with respect to continuing the pursue the identity of uh, Danielle. That hasn't gone away. Yeah, I haven't forgotten about that. Yeah. So make no mistake, I have not forgotten about it. And when Kimmy posted the one of her videos, I think. Let me see. Did I? No, I'm just reading a comment that just came up. It's a way to find out what you are doing in your own pursuit. Yeah. Yes, I understand, McClure. Um, I do understand that. I do understand that. I just don't want um, to telegraph everything that I'm doing or with whom or what, because you can see how Danielle takes and information, because she's always watching and listening to find out what's going on, what someone might be doing, so she can try to head off or make fun or whatever she does, and not take it seriously. This is serious. I haven't not taken it serious, not for one day. Now um, we are looking at different individuals, yes, but this is what I was going to say. So there was that video that you made where you mentioned you um, had made contact with the FBI, and you saw how the pictures and things were posted and made fun of, and like nobody's gonna talk to her and so forth, like it's not real. And I know you're serious about it. You sound very serious. Yeah. Yeah. And your aim is my aim at the end is to get to the bottom of the truth of who she is so that she can be held responsible for the things that she has done over the course of the years. Yeah. Yeah. And I even mentioned when you filed, uh, here, that I didn't, it's not a joke what you're doing at all. Not for me. No, not for anyone who's pursuing it. I absolutely stand by that pursuit done through illegal channels or whatever. Yeah. But if you've contacted the FBI, and I have no reason to doubt you, and if you've spoken to them directly, and I'm not going to say what what I'm doing on this platform, but by no means, if you can give them my name, my information, my email, and I would have no problem at all speaking with someone um, about what's going on, what has gone on. Yeah, because Daniel has um, terrorized a number of people on this platform and cyberbully and harassed. This is who she is. And when I mentioned the other day, it, her values have not changed. No, she's still the cyberbully, the individual who she is. I don't care if she, puts on cover up all of her thumbnails and starts to appear like she's this, um, smiling African American woman with the afro, and she's all for peace, love, and soul. Um, no, she's still that avenger, uh-huh, that she is, the revenger that she is. Yeah. That's what she will be known as. She can change all of her masks. That's how she came. That's what she's doing. And she needs to be held accountable. And as time goes by, there are a number of people who think, okay, that's in the past. But she's done her damage and she's gotten away with it so far. So why shouldn't she be held accountable? She wants to hold everyone to the same standard. Why shouldn't she have to be held accountable? So her values, who she is at her core, can't be dismissed. Yeah. She is who she said she is. Okay. That has not changed. She wants people to think she has changed, even by ditching a lot of those videos. All those nosy whole life videos, she's ditched them all. Even on her, I believe on her a website. You can't hide the truth. It's out there. Mm-hmm. You can't hide the messages that you've sent They're out there. You can't hide the threats that you've made. They're out there. So, to Kimmy, um, that information is out there. Yeah. And people know since 2022, how many times have I been burned? How many times have I been burned trying to um, discuss or with someone? I've been pursuing this pretty much on my own, but I support anyone. That includes from the beginning. That includes from the beginning those who deserve and seek justice for the things that Danielle has done. Yeah. Because she says everybody's a pathological liar except her. Not true. Everybody deserves what they've gotten. How she's avenged. Not true. People say you can't tell a person how to come after you. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Now, they're going to do what they're going to do, but it doesn't mean you can't tell them what you think about it. If the truth is coming out and people want to silence the truth, because she's a great example of someone who wants to silence the truth, yet she has said in her videos that she will never be silenced as a Black woman. She said it very early on. Her voice will never be silenced. That's what she said. At the same time, she has silenced and attempted to silence Black women's voices. Selective, those who would speak up against her. Yeah. So if you're for freedom and if you're for truth, just let all the truth be told in the real form. Yeah. Don't try to twist it, because that's what she does. And don't try to victim shame, because that's what she does. And you can't tell a victim, if they are that, how to tell their story, how to express themselves. None of these folks. It's their story to tell. You can tell your story. It's your story to tell. But you can't tell. Not quite like the victim can tell. Okay. People want to dust a lot of things under the rug. There were people involved. And there's still more that's coming to light. So if you weren't, involved and you weren't part of it and part of the rug or whatever, don't worry about it. But it was systematic. It was deliberate. It was calculated. Yeah. And because maybe somebody's getting close to finding out the truth, uncovering it, or at least getting more close to and discussing it, you're anonymous, Danielle. So why you? You said nobody's going to ever find you. Mhm. She can't be found. And again, I would applaud. Give me if you have if you've gotten feedback from the FBI. I'm not going to say what I'm doing. No, no. But it's not gone away. I'll just put it like that. Okay. So yeah, what is this I hear? No, I haven't forgotten about it. Mm-mm. Yeah. Let me read some of your comments. I see one right here in the middle. Let's see, we've got McClurk says it was planned and designed to attack female Black content creators, specifically anyone who supports them, they threaten. I mean, just look around. If you support someone, that's speaking their truth, speaking their story, then what is the consequences? You get attacked because you're simply talking about it. Why? It's because they want to silence it. Yeah. Vicky Black says, we don't know if she's a Black woman or white woman or a man. She's anonymous. And I have to say that again. Yes. I can't be 100% certain. I really think I've got the right family. I still do. That hasn't changed. That family runs broad and it runs deep. And the friends and people, associates that they might have and have can run deep too. Mm-hmm. But just watch the signals, watch the signs of what and how people are harassed. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I got the right family. I got the right family. She said I would know. She said I would know. And has anyone received any worse? I mean, she's on Jaguar Right. She started that, my opinion. Okay. Yeah. Whether it was interest, we know how she got on the story. Her TV was talking about Jaguar Right. Okay. And she tried to discredit. Here, her TV, reaching out to, you know, that Legina story, and you don't want to talk to this person because, they're not credible. She's not credible either. She did that to Tales from the Cult in September of 2021. Remember, keep that month in mind. When Tales wanted to reach out or offered her platform, let's just put it that way, offered her platform for any of the victims to speak to her. Immediately, there was a campaign to discredit and talk about Tales' past so that the family members or anyone wouldn't want to reach out to her. Yeah. And the bookends that did that were Danielle and Rabbit, Black Rabbit. They both put out information, post videos, about tells and why she shouldn't be spoken to. Vicky Black says, where is Rocky now? I have no idea. But I've talked about all of these, and it's interesting. Silence. Yeah, because I must have the right family. And now that I know, I absolutely, one, I believe that Danielle was here on YouTube, with a channel in 2020, that Nosy Whole Life channel that's still up with 3 videos. It has her fingerprints, her everything about it screams her. Even people under the comments said, we know that's you, Danielle. And those are some of her Avengers. Yeah, those 3 videos where multiple voices were heard about Nosy Whole Life and the Gilbert police and all of that. But that YouTube channel was created in late 2020. That's her, in my opinion. Screams her name. So she was around. Now, why was she around? Why was she, she says, stalking to everyone else? She was trolling Nosy Whole Life very early on. But for whom and why? Who is the person that she loved? Ask yourself. Who did Nosy Whole Life hurt? That tapped Danielle and said, this is what happened. And she decided to come on this platform to take care of it. Take care of it was take care of Nosy Whole Life. That's what it was about. And take care of her why? Why? What was happening in 2020? 2020 at the end, it was about giving Jennifer Hoff a platform. Now, Nosy Whole Life had she's very outspoken, but it was Hotshot Radio when I was listening to his videos. Yeah, where he, reached out and was really the first person. So they've both been targeted. They both were targeted. Yeah, for giving Jennifer, have a platform. Simply because. So don't shoot the messenger. And certainly, and I've said this, Nosy Whole Life was a lightning rod. And she was a lightning rod around the jealousy that she received in the trolling and the high interest in her, because she says she has such a big personality. Not just that, it was those sex work classes that gained her also a lot of attention and money. And she openly spoke about it. And those classes were purchased even by revengers, because it got into the hands of Danielle and she posted her first deleted video, recreated video. The classes Nosy Whole Life's class to divert people from purchasing her class to stop her bag. Because it's always about money. And or silencing the truth. And the truth is about the money and about everything else that went on. And who else was involved. And making the connections. Because remember, it's layers. Layers put into place to protect her identity way before she showed up. So someone must have known what she was going to do and the reason she was going to come, that she needed to stay anonymous. Because it might lead back to some bigger things, to other people. So we don't know. Is she black? Is she white? She says she's black. I'm not making a case that she is. I'm not, I'm not even thinking. But, some people think because she has stayed hidden. Yeah. So we'll be get in line. Now, this person who Kimmy is pursuing, this person out in California, and I've seen, some of the videos that she, just bits and pieces. And then remember what happened with King World and all about the trees. Talk about the Marvel character. A lot of that seems to make sense. How all of that's part of it, I don't know. I really don't. I have never, not once, not yet, thought of the other person. I just haven't. That doesn't mean that shouldn't be pursued as far as, okay, rule it out, but done in such a way that it, is legal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know who has tried to get in touch with her. I've never. Mm-hmm. But Kimmy thinks, and I'll just say to Kimmy, pursue that. And the channels that you are taking, the way that you're going about it, there's nothing wrong with that. Filing a lawsuit, mm-hmm. Contacting authorities. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's evidence out here that she's done a lot of things. So it's out there. I just don't want to telegraph. No. I don't want to get myself in a trap. No. Yeah. And not saying that there's a trap being laid. No, I wouldn't speak this openly about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wouldn't. Yeah, I know on this platform, I don't have a lot of support of a lot of content creators in particular. They have scoffed and mocked me as well. Some. That's them. Yeah. Baby Juju says, stay steadfast and focus. Yes. McClure, all BS is SC, and this is the third time I have looked at the information. What is the motive? I always say what? Why behind the what? Why? I know there's a clear motivation the way I'm thinking about the family. Yes. There's clearly too many coincidences that would point in the direction. Now, okay, so if it's not Daniel Elizabeth Allen, there is another sister, right? Sisters. Monique Tober says she would have her daughter looking into it. So which daughter looked into it? Did a daughter look into it? That would be just a simple question for Miss Tober. You said you're going to have someone looking into it and they're going to, pay for it, regret it. What did she mean by that? What did she mean by that? Yeah. And why was it so important to give her an apology? And now that we know what we know, Miss Tolbert allegedly hasn't been above board when she's had to fill out documents. Allegedly. So if she can be that way, this was before she came onto the platform, before she sat with Nosy Ola and So Debonair. This was before something much more important, speaks volumes of her values, valuing the truth, even when it reflects negatively on a person. Yeah. People want me to say my part in the 2021, my part, I told everybody, maybe I have spoken about this. I talked about Tails. I talked about the beef that we had and why. And then I admitted. I said the worst that I did to Tails was call her Pinocchio. Did I try to, harass her family and do things like that? No, I did not. If you can find it, go find it. Tails thought that I was, doing things with Rabbit and Danielle. I was not. And I drew a hard stop in October of 2021. Yeah, when her grandmother was contacted. That's because it's my value. And I thought that was going across the line. Yeah, she had struck my channel 4 times. It had to do with playing her video, and I admitted that. But part of that video, she had Tasha K's clip in it. Okay. And I've explained all of that before. I always knew it was a 2-minute video. And then I made other videos about her. Yeah, I've said that. I didn't have a beef with anyone else in 2021. Yes, I made some videos about Nosy Whole Life. Surviving Nosy Whole Life, I did. Yeah. But if you look at the video, look at the content of the video and what I said. I had absolutely nothing to do with the takedown of Nosy Whole Life. I wasn't involved in it. I didn't know about Monique Tolbert. I didn't talk to Black Rabbit about any of that stuff. She didn't tell me about any of that. I just know I started and I went live in June in the summer of 2021. That's where I spent my time. And I have the email where the last email, she said, I'm going to be busy. I got some things I'm going to be doing. May, June. Now I know what she was doing. She was, making videos like everybody else, I guess. I didn't write that all about the T wave. She did. She was on platforms. She was part of that. I didn't know. No, I was never in that loop. Yeah. And when Nosy Whole Life's channel went down, because of things that were being done, like a number of people, I thought, Nosy Whole Life had done some things. She had. She had. And yeah, like a lot of people, when my name appeared on her list amongst other content creators, I remember seeing one of her videos. I'm like, wow, she really thinks that I'm this Kenya or Sonia or whoever this person, whoever put my name in that email. She couldn't have been further from the truth. Could not have been. I had nothing to do with the Dirty 40 and the takedown of her Twitch channel. Nothing. I didn't tweet about it. I wasn't involved in it. I didn't pursue that. I never once ever communicated with those dirty 40s and those who were on, and I'm talking about the back and forth on their dirty 40, those who made fun of Nosy Whole Life and created that site. I wasn't part of it. I didn't learn of the dirty 40 until I started reviewing my own videos and things and trying to understand who Danielle was in 2022. Yeah. I didn't know that there was this band of people who were actually off site doing all this every day. Mhm. So, no, I didn't telegraph to people that I was gathering my own information. Why would I? Not until I had what I needed. And it only had to do with Danielle. That's why. Vicky Black says, why did D4D want the video of daughter of Mames? It was probably twofold. One, Nosy Whole Life talked about her own experience and how she helped a victim. When I reviewed that series, it was to show Nosy Whole Life in a different light than she had been shown on this platform. And it really reflects positively on her. As difficult as that story and as tragic, another woman's story, and it is very heartbreaking. It could be compared to the victim, one of the victims in her story, to Precious. Y'all remember that movie Precious? Mhm. And it would really explain why Nosy Whole Life did or didn't hate Black women. She gives an explanation. She puts, context. She puts context to her passion about supporting, Black women or women, girls who have dealt with trauma of being abused by even their mothers because of supporting their own need for love through a Black man, their own relationship. And so she talked about that, highlighted that, daughters of mammies, and how it is perpetuated. Yeah. Danielle wanted to destroy anything that would be good that could be shown about Nosy Whole Life. At anything, whether it was her laughter, whether it was her own little, quirks or whatever, even the difficult things that she said. Understanding Nosy Whole Life is complicated. She has different sides. She's complex. That's what makes her intriguing to a lot of people, because she's not afraid to speak things just the way she does, as as difficult as it is to. She is blunt, and she says she doesn't have to cover up and say someone else did that. Just she'll say it. And why? But that's one of the mantras that Danielle put out there over and over and over and over. That Nosy Whole Life hates, but all Black women. She didn't hate all Black women. She would be explaining the reasons why she felt like that. At one point, she admits where she was and why she said that she hated Black women. In that video, it was brutally honest. What happened to Nosy Whole Life when she was a young woman? And I think because of that, when she was, went to New York and was on the street, and she could see in herself one of those girls who were being pimped out and in trouble and needing to be, rescued, saved, or whatever. Maybe it has to do with that. It's kind of like, can I do something to, help this person? And she's passionate about it. It would show her in a positive light. In the same way, when Tales was talking her story, Tales from the Cult, surviving the cult, being a survivor and telling her story, it would show her in a positive light. Because nobody can tell her story like she can tell her story and what she experienced being in that cult and getting away. You won't find one video. You won't find one video where I shame Tales about her story about being part of that church. You won't find one. Try to find it. I didn't take that opportunity. It was about the strikes, but I didn't use that against her. You won't find one place where I did that. You won't find one place where I tried to humiliate Tales sexually. You won't find it. I was astonished when those pictures came out. Like, wow. But you're not going to find it. I had my own values of who I am, and my values won't change either. I admitted I thought Tells was lying, not being truthful about, the things she was posting about Tasha or others. But I came back because looking through those videos, I've admitted, Tells didn't get everything wrong. How many times do I have to say that? I didn't fully understand why she was being pursued in that way because I didn't understand the importance of this, all about the tea, that part in September, because I didn't follow that. Giving the voice to that family. I didn't know at the time. I had not spoken to Danielle. I didn't follow her. So I didn't understand why it would have been so important for her to stop Tails from talking to the families because she didn't want the truth to get out. It's not about the messenger. She didn't want the message to get out. And as far as the messenger, she didn't think Tails deserved that kind of visibility. And she was mad at Tails because she didn't take her bait, her being David Johnson. And she was mad that Tails spoke up against Black Rabbit and what was going on. See, I didn't know. I didn't know who was tied at the hip at the time. All I knew is it was a one-way conversation that I had between Black Rabbit and I. At that time, I didn't talk about Danielle. I didn't know what she was doing with Miss Tober. I wasn't involved in that. I do remember the whole Tails interaction and what I would have done because Tails and I had a beef. Yeah, that's why it would have meant something to me, for the Ford strikes. Yeah. So all of these victims and I call them victims because they were victimized. This went beyond the pale. So to go back full circle, Danielle, I'm not. She doesn't get off the hook. She doesn't get a pass. She doesn't, not for me, she doesn't get like, oh, just because I'm not talking about her every day. Because she sure is doing things to me. Yes, she is. Baby Juju says, and my moderator, even though I knew you were somewhat hurt at the time, I was relieved you found out about Black Rabbit. I had no idea she was holding all that back. She let it go on that day. F me for life. It was like, is she talking to me? She showed her true colors, who she is. because she lied about Mika and then had to come back and give that halfway apology. Because she doxed and did things right alongside Danielle. She was her bookend. And she got the exposure during that All About the Tea because Monica, when she was up, told people, subscribe. And Monica herself said she admired her because of her investigative skills. Black Rabbit was a social worker that would give her access to information. Black Rabbit said she was an investigator and she had tools and she had rabbits that helped her when she first came to YouTube. So there were other people investigating. Who were those people? In January, when it was all about Nosy Whole Live and Jennifer Huff. Who was doing the investigating? Tie it together. The hatred and why. The motivation and why. She was the first to make a petition against Nosy Whole Live, Black Rabbit. One of the first. She wanted her channels shut down. She wanted her bag taken. She spoke it. She was concerned about Nosy Whole Life sex work classes and the money she made. She spoke it. I have it. Why would somebody like her? Why would she be jealous? What would be her motivation for the strong pursuit of her? Who else was working with her? It seemed to me there was a lot of people who had a motive and a reason to want to see Nosy Whole Life, channel taken down. But there was one person who made sure that it was going to happen. With others. Yeah. And some of those same people are being pursued even today. Especially when, stories come out. This silence. Yeah. All right, it's 11:06. What is this I hear? The election news will pick up. It appears that Vice President Kamala Harris is a few points ahead of Donald Trump. We'll see how this week goes. This is an important week leading up to next Tuesday when the two of them debate. That's going to be one for the books, I'm sure. Okay. Kia Papaya says, I'll never forget when Tree said that Mika was higher than a giraffe's cooter. Oh, I missed that one. I didn't know Mika could be as outspoken as she is. And I didn't know about her platform. Boy, like, wow. Yeah. But then there's probably part of Mika's story that is silent too. Mhm. You see, we're going to never really truly know what caused Mika, you know, to then support, you know, Danielle, who sorely doxed her along with Black Rabbit and humiliated her. Will we ever know? Was she afraid? Will we ever know? Danielle and Rabbit at the time, they had their way of squeezing a person. Mika was going through a lot at the time. You just never know how people deal with pressure, right? It might have been too much. Yeah. But we'll never know. Because at one point, she, supported, and she was a key investigator with Nosy Whole Life, for Nosy Whole Life. So she had a lot of information. Yeah. And it was very, very extremely important for that information to be passed over to Danielle. She wanted that information bad. Rabbit wanted to pursue and get that information to show, Danielle, look at me, how much she was in support of her in her own pursuit of Nosy Whole Life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why they brought Marcel up on that platform. Yeah. It was no stopping Danielle. It was a one by one by one. She wanted everybody who had touched that panel, who had spoken about Monique Tolbert, you see, to give an account. Because that was the information that was talked about. It was Monique Tolbert. Those pictures. Baby Juju says, I believe her animal spirit is a fish. She is always flopping. What is this? She's one who has done a lot of the threatening and terrorizing of others. I haven't watched all these videos. Yeah. I'm sure no one could tell her story the way hers would be. Very interesting to hear. Yeah. Inside the Nosy Whole Life investigation of the Avatar, unmasking the Avatar. Yeah. Okay. My phone has been ringing in the background. I've heard it and I haven't answered it. And I do have some commitments for this Labor Day. So I hope you enjoy yours. And I'll get back. I plan to come back later tonight. We'll see. I do. Thank you for your time this morning. And yeah, go out there, celebrate, be safe, enjoy, relax. However you're going to Do it. It's Labor Day. If you're part of a union, if you're part of just labor, you are, all of us who work. Enjoy your day. Thanks to the moderators. Yeah. Biggest bear hugs go out to all the Grizzlies. Please hit the like on your way out. Email me at unwindwithteddy@gmail.com. But now it's time to say goodbye. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy. Have a good one.
Lights out, I'm your favorite. Too many ways, been in your place, there's delays. Add it up, plus signs, zeros on the table. Driving and vibing, bring the beat later. Wanna make it bigger, just a little bit of flavor showing up to my space, I'm a fashion dealer. I'm your biggest bidder, meet me in the middle. I just don't wanna settle under these lucid dreams. I'm not just a visionary, it's all making sense to me. Not a basic, ain't no ordinary. Stay put, we gon' get higher. You're the product, I could be your buyer. Under these lucid dreams, I'm not thinking off my head yet. Just being honest, what's the big difference, yeah? And I've been feeling my own inertia. Just being honest, there's no difference. The mood is okay. I don't want to just feel under these lucid dreams. I'm not just a visionary, it's all making sense to me. Not a basic, ain't no ordinary. Stay put, we gon' get higher. You're the product, I could be your buyer. Under these lucid dreams, I'm not thinking off my head yet. I'm just feeling lazy, just be honest, baby. We got different phases, give it all, take it all. I'm just feeling lazy, just be honest, baby. We got different phases, give it all, take it all. 말리부 가서 한 잔에 쭉 마시는 blue lemonade. 술은 필요 없어, 다 끝나기 전에, yeah. Under these lucid dreams, yeah. I'm not just a visionary, it's all making sense to me. Not a basic, ain't no ordinary. Stay put, we gon' get higher. You're the product, I could be your buyer. Under these lucid dreams, I'm not thinking off my head, yeah.